But, I mean, if you think that the China story is wrong, I urge you to sell short China.
Jim, hi, it's Steve here. Just, I don't think speculators are evil, but you know as well as I do they exacerbate price movements. Sometimes, believe it or not, they even cause price movements as well, including in the oil complex as well. I presume you're long oil if you're touting $150 a barrel.
I'm long all commodities. I've been long all commodities for 12 years now. I'm long every single commodity that trades in the public.
Good. So oil's going $150 a barrel. You're long the underlying. Why is oil going $150 a barrel? There's plenty of oil around.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. You should tell us all where it is so we can invest in it too. The International Energy Agency is going around the world to every country saying, please listen, we've got a crisis facing us. Known reserves of oil are declining. Please, Steve, please tell us where the oil is. I want to invest in it too. Tell Exxon, tell the IEA, where is it?
Well, for a start, it's in Iran. For a start, it's in Iraq. For a start, it's in Saudi. What else do you need to know? Do you want to know about gas shale? Do you want to know about alternatives? There's plenty of energy around, Jim.
Well, Steve, then I suggest we don't need to discuss this. You just short oil. I'm long energy.
And you're putting your money where your mouth is, and I'm very pleased to say. But what I want to know is, what's consumption of oil a day? 85, 86 million barrels a day? What's it going to be next year? 87, 88 million barrels a day?
At the moment, it's...
What the point I'm making is, there's about 3 billion barrels a day of this stuff trade on the market. You're telling me it's not the speculators driving this price up?
Wait a minute. First of all, I don't know what it's going to be next year. If you want to know what the consumption of oil is going to be next year, Steve, you should watch CNBC. They know this sort of thing. They talk about it every day. 86 million barrels of oil trade every day. Are consumed every day. I'm not sure what your point is. That's staggering amounts of oil. And by the way, 86 million barrels a day trades 365 days a year. We're not just talking about 200 days when the exchanges are open. Oil is being used and consumed and bought and sold every day of the year.
This is my point. It's 86 million barrels a day that is actually consumed. You, me, Jeff, Anna, everyone. We use 86 million barrels a day, and including the Chinese. The point is 3 billion barrels a day are traded. 3 billion barrels a day traded, 86 million barrels a day consumed. I think the speculators might have a small hand in the price exacerbation.
Steve, for every buyer in the commodities market, there's a seller. What are you talking about? Who are you condemning? The sellers, the people who are selling 3 billion barrels a day, or the people who are buying it?
Oh, so the market's
Remember, in the commodities markets, you're buying and selling.
I apologise. I stand corrected. Speculators do not move prices. There you go, Jim. Anna, come in.
That's a rare thing, Jim. You got an apology out of Steve there. You have to frame that one. I know that you've said that you're not interested in stocks, but as long as I've known you, Jim, you've said you're not interested in stocks, and it seems to it's not what you do. But I mean, many people are talking about yes, we're going to see inflation, but there are some stocks out there that might be good inflation hedges, ones that have maybe a little bit of pricing power if the Chinese economy and the other Asian economies continue to grow. I mean, is that something that you'll ever consider getting involved in, or do you just have a blanket ban on stocks?
Anna, I own some stocks. I periodically buy and sell. I've sold some stocks short right now. Yes, I invest in stocks and always have. But Anna, commodities have outperformed stocks by 10 times. That's 1,000% over the last 10 or 12 years. Why aren't you doing only commodities, for goodness sakes? It's outperformed stocks by 1,000%.
We'll change the name of the show.
To me, it's pretty simple.
We'll have to change the name of the show.
You should change it to Commodities.
Squawk Box. Yes, that would be good.
Commodities NBC.
Which stocks would you short at the moment then, Jim?
Well, I'm short emerging market ETFs. I'm short some of the NASDAQ ETFs in the United States. That's essentially where I'm short. Not I have big shorts, but I have started shorting again. For a long time, I had no shorts. For one of the few times in my life, from the fall of 2008 till I think the spring or summer of 2010, I had no shorts. But now I've started shorting emerging markets and NASDAQ kind of companies.
Jim, look, it's a real pleasure to speak to you. Always nice to have a good old chat. Jim Rogers, CEO of Rogers Holdings. Thank you very much indeed for that.